Hello and welcome back to the Educate YouTube channel, or welcome if it's your first time viewing. My name is Zoe and I'm the founder of the Educate Educational Playgroup here in Brisbane, Australia. If you like sensory play at children's activities for children aged 0 to 5, then make sure you follow along and hit that subscribe button. Today I'm going to show you how to set up a construction themed sensory tray. Come along. Every week we do a new theme, and this week's theme is actually all things yellow. And one of the children who come to playgroup told me that construction vehicles are yellow. Things like diggers, excavators, dump trucks, that sort of thing. So I decided to do for this week's sensory tray, construction vehicles. Now, my philosophy is all about empowering parents to play with their children and also make things super simple. Sometimes I see things online that are really complicated, big setups, and I want to show you that it actually can be simple by just using a few key materials. Now, if you haven't seen one of my sensory setups before, this is the tough tray that I use. It comes off and there's a little foldable stand underneath. I've purchased these from a seller called Gumtree Kids. Her name's Chelsea here in Brisbane, Australia. Highly recommend. She has some great products and something that I use every single week. I can fold everything up and store it in my shed. It is awesome. But for today's video, I'm going to show you what I've got for the sensory tray. So I've got a little fake plant that I bought from IKEA for a few dollars. I've got some pretty large construction vehicles, and the reason I want it is the kids can, we're going to use some yellow rice and they can fill up the yellow rice. I do have like mini little construction vehicles which I have used before, but they're on my sand tray today. So I thought I'm going to use my big ones here, and for my sessions yesterday it worked quite well. I'm always about reflecting. And something else I've got is these wooden planks. They're from Grimm's, and I've just used some road tape and just laid it on top. It doesn't stick all that well, but all these ingredients are dry. And then I've also got my mirror tray as my little centerpiece. But first things first, I'm going to pour the rice around the tray, and then we can pop out our little decorations. If you've seen my videos before, you know that I love a 5-minute setup. If it takes more than 5 minutes to set it up, then I'm not doing it. Sure, there might be a little bit of prep to it. You know, the rice actually doesn't take that long to make it when I do it at home. I put it in a snufflock bag or a storage container, pour some vinegar on it and my food coloring, give it a shake around, and then I open it up, open the lid, leave the bag open to dry. I don't put it out in the sun or anything. The vinegar and rice kind of absorbs everything anyway and dries really quickly. Now I've spread my rice out. Now I'm just going to lay out my road tracks. Nothing fancy. The kids are going to move it anyway and they can make their own little thing. I could even put it down on here, lay some down that way. Whatever strikes your fancy. I just like a bit of greenery in the center for a bit of a centerpiece, you know, kind of like a little tablescape. I'm going to pop out my vehicles and we are done. I sort of just lay them out so that they're, you know, if I had all the children around, they could kind of access it. I do have a little rogue blue one, but I love these. This is a Green Toys one. All of these are from Kmart in Australia. But I just love that it's a dump truck. You know, kids love being able to fill and scoop, whereas my cement mixer, they can't really fill anything. But I want to put it on because they can still hear different sounds as they pour it on top. Now, you might be thinking, well, there's not much on the tray. It's just rice, the planks, the construction vehicles. Here are 2 more things that I would suggest that you could add. But I'm not going to put these on this week just because I'm using them for other activities inside. Be sure to check out my other full video of my yellow, all things yellow setup. I don't know if you can hear the kookaburra, the Australian bird in the background. It's my little sign for I know it's going to be a good day when I hear a kookaburra. You could use some trees. That could look really nice on the tablescape. Also road signs. These are all wooden road signs too. I'm using them on another activities indoors, so I'm not going to put them on my table. Something that I wanted to mention was that I see sometimes online people doing construction setups and using like little, finding like little witches' hats and little rocks and whatnot. Do you just have to do what works for your child or the children in your care? Because for me personally, those items are way too small to be using here at playgroup when I have children who are like 8 months old at the sensory tray and beyond, and when they're mouthing things still. So you've really got to think about that and think about your child and what's safe and appropriate for them. For me here, it's not safe and appropriate. I'm going to do big and chunky and to be safe. Make sure you let me know what did you like about the tray? Was there something that you think you could add to it as well? I'm also thinking like big chunky like river pebbles as well could be cool. What would you have added? Let me know in the comments. Stick around and be sure to tune in next week. I drop a new sensory tray video every single week. Cheering you on.